Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
That's live up.
We live. We are live.
I didn't
Sorry,
see that.
guys, for
He said, she bit my head off. He said, I won't say nothing like that no more. He said, them Kentucky basketball fans, he said, they serious about their basketball.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are. You
So
know
they
it. What, 2 or 3 weeks here? Who they play tomorrow? Firehouse, Kent State.
Audio Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play Kent State. Yeah, Firehouse. Yeah, they'll beat them tomorrow. They'll move them all the way up to number 3, and then they'll think it's 1998 again down there. No.
That's part of it.
Playoffs.
Remember that dude?
Yeah, Jim Moore. Playoffs. Nothing but playoffs.
Well, hey, I'm telling you, 12 teams, I'm on in there.
Hey,
I gotta,
Audio Jungle.
I'm gonna have to get a new Alabama magnet to sneak on your truck next time I'm home, Brent.
yes. Let me tell y'all a story. So, Janone Tommy was Hey, you want my pick? It's my pick. Right here. Notre Dame, everybody. Notre Dame.
With all the arm pumping I'm about to be doing tonight, you can probably line me up 30 plus lawnmowers. I'll start every one of them. How's everyone doing out there tonight? Welcome to another episode of the Wildcat Den. Well, as you see, Brent's not with us tonight. They've been having some water issues down there in his area. But they've been out without water for about at least a week or so. How you doing, Hunter? Let me know if you can hear me good, because I don't even know. But anyway, there's a lot of people down there in that area out of water, been out of water for about a week. So everybody, thoughts and prayers for everybody without the water. Hopefully Brent makes it later in the show. Mostly, I'm going to start off talking a little bit about the positions, how they was in the draft, and then I'm going to start talking about some of the Kentucky, the defensive line and the inside linebackers. I'm going to go over a lot of those players. I was going to do those first, but hopefully Brent gets in here before I get to that. But if my eyes look all yaller and you see me squinting a lot, it's because I went to the cataract doctor today, and they put probably about 50 drops in my eyes. There's yellow drops, green drops, all different kinds. So I have little problems light in my eyes and stuff. And I like to congratulate our friend Mark. It's on the show a lot. He's Dr. Mark now, as the day before yesterday, I think it was. But he's a really good guest when he comes on. I can't wait to have him back. Like he was on before March Madness, and I was having computer difficulties, but hopefully he gets back on soon. Well, Kentucky Derby Saturday. Everybody ready for the Kentucky Derby? I know it ain't good on them horses, but I like watching them when they're running in the rain. But I guess it's more dangerous for the horses and stuff like that. I used to always call my aunt she lived in Cincinnati area, and she loved horse racing, and I'd always call her and get the inside on the Kentucky Derby. So I miss her every time the Kentucky Derby comes on. My trifecta this year, I had Sandman, Rodriguez, Luxor Calf, but Rodriguez got scratched for some reason, so I just went ahead and threw in Cold Battle. He's 30-1. Luxor Calf 15-1. Sandman was 6-1. So hopefully everybody can hear me good out there. I want to go ahead and go over these the top 5 out of the NFL draft, like quarterbacks, running backs. I don't know if you guys remember, but Brent and I had a mock draft that I'd went over, and then we made our own little picks. So I'm going to start with the quarterbacks. Top 5 quarterbacks drafted in this year's draft was Cam Ward out of Miami, went to the Tennessee Titans. Second quarterback, Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss, went to the Giants. Tyler Shaw, Louisville, he went to the Saints. Jalen Milroe out of Alabama, went to the Seahawks. Dylan Gabriel, Oregon, the Browns. Our mock draft went 3 for 5, and I went 1 for 5. But now, speaking of those quarterbacks in the draft, I heard some comments. I don't know if it was Tyler Shaw or Dylan Gabriel. There's a few of them. They kept comparing them to Will Levis. They kept saying, oh, it's going to be another Will Levis, drafted too high and he ain't going to do anything like that. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, Will Levis was drafted in the second round, 32nd pick overall. Well, my personal opinion, Will Levis should have went probably in 3rd or 4th round as a backup or a project or something like that, not a franchise quarterback. But now that being said, I don't think there's any way whatsoever that Anthony Richardson should have been drafted over him. He was in the 1st round, 4th overall pick. I mean, the Colts didn't watch Florida play any at all when he was playing for them. I mean, come on. That is the stupidest thing the Colts did since Irsay went and traded John Elway for a garbage offensive lineman in the middle of the night. Anyways, I should have probably did the quarterbacks last, but going with it. We got the running backs. Top 5 running backs drafted this year's draft. Ashton Genty, Boise State, went to the Raiders. O'Marion Hampton, North Carolina, went to the Chargers. Quinshon Judkins, Ohio State, Browns. Travion Henderson, Ohio State, Patriots. R.J. Harvey, UCF, Broncos. Kind of surprised Scatterboo wasn't in there. But then again, I didn't have him on mine either. But so the running backs, our mock draft I went with was 3 for 5. And I was 2 for 5. Moving on. Wide receivers. Well, everybody had Travis Hunter picked as the top wide receiver and the top cornerback. So I kind of moved on down with that. Tetairoa McMillan, Arizona, went to the Panthers. Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State, went to the Bucks. Matthew Golden, Texas, went to the Packers. Jaden Higgins, Iowa State, went to the Texans. Luther Burton the third, Missouri, went to the Bears. There went some of them cataract drops. Everything went blurry. Jeez. Okay, wide receivers. Let's see where we at. My mock draft was 5 for 5. I'm just saying these mock drafts just because we all look at them every year, and I think it's interesting to see how accurate they are. This was just a random one I went with. Mock draft was 5 for 5, and I went 3 for 5. All righty. Move on to the tight ends. Top 5 tight ends drafted. Colston Loveland, Michigan, went to the Bears. Tyler Warren, Penn State, went to the Colts. Mason Taylor, LSU, went to the Jets. Terrence Ferguson, Oregon, went to the Rams. Elijah Araro, Miami, went to the Seahawks. Our mock draft, they went 4 for 5. Their average is pretty good, I have to say. And I pretty much had about the same thing so I'm probably one worse than them because I added Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame in there. Now we're down here to the O-line. Offensive line, top 5 went in this year's draft. Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU, went to the Patriots. Armin Membuo, Missouri, went to the Jets. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, Texas, went to the Saints. Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama, went to the Cowboys. Gray Zabel, guard, North Dakota State, went to the Seahawks. Our mock draft went 4 for 5. And I went 3 for 5. Yes, I said that. At least I think it's tomorrow. Am I wrong? Hey, you look like you got Minnie on there. That looks like my cat. Pretty sure Kentucky Derby's tomorrow. Defensive line. The defensive line and the edge rushers, I'm just going to tell you how they was drafted because when we did ours, they kind of got mixed with each other. The edge rushers and the defensive line. So top 5. This is a good point right here. Oh, where's old Hunter? How do I sound, Hunter? I sound okay, buddy? You'll be able to mow tomorrow. Don't worry. I thought you was another Hunter. Okay. Defensive line. Top 5 drafted. Mason Graham, defensive tackle. All these are defensive tackles, so I'm not going to say it again. Michigan, went to the Browns. Kenneth Grant, Michigan, went to the Dolphins. Walter Nolan, Mississippi, went to the Cardinals. Derek Harmon, Oregon, went to the Steelers. Tyreek Williams, Ohio State, went to the Lions. Boy, Michigan took a hit on that D-line, didn't they? Okay, our edge rushers. Abdul Carter, Penn State, Giants. Michael Williams, Georgia, 49ers. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M, went to the Cincinnati Bengals, Houday Nation. James Pierce Jr., Tennessee, the Falcons. Donovan Donovan. Boston College went to the Cowboys. Gonna move on to the linebackers. I just thought this was interesting. When we did our initial one, we had our edge rushers and our defensive line mixed up. So, whatever. It is what it is. Linebackers, Jalen Walker, Georgia, Falcons. Jaheed Campbell, Alabama, went to the Eagles. Carson Schwarzenegger, UCLA, went to the Browns. Demetrius Knight, South Carolina, went to Houday Nation, Cincinnati Bengals. Working on that defense, that's what they need to be doing. Nick Martin, Oklahoma State, went to the 49ers. Our mock draft, they went 4 for 5, and I went 3 for 5. And our defensive backs, we got them, we had our cornerbacks and our safeties mixed together. So I'm just going to read off basically. Starting with the cornerbacks. Travis Hunter, Colorado, went to the Jaguars. Jaheed Barron went to Texas. Well, he didn't go to Texas. He played at Texas, went to the Broncos. Maxwell Harrison, Kentucky Wildcat, went to the Bills. And Bills love some Wildcats. Will Johnson, Michigan, went to the Cardinals. Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame, went to the Bucks. He's pretty good. I watched him play. Malik Starks, Georgia. Baltimore. Nick Emmanuel, South Carolina, Seahawks. Andrew Magupa, Texas, went to the Eagles. Kevin Winston Jr., Penn State, went to the Titans. Jonas Sanker, Virginia, went to the Saints. I just thought that's kind of be interesting to know how each position got drafted instead of just like the top 10 or whatever, you know. So now I'm gonna go over these Kentucky players I've looked up, and whatnot, and then we'll call it a show. But last week we'd went over the quarterbacks and running backs. Well, so pretty much I think we're going to figure Zach Calzada, broke shoulder as I call him, and we got some good news about him. His shoulder he had surgery on. He had to have 2 surgeries. It wasn't 2 separate injuries, and it was a non-throwing shoulder. So that's good news. Figuring Cutter will be the backup. We got a pretty loaded room at running backs. Seth McGowan, 6'1", 220. That's the one we just picked up. Dante Dodwell, 6'2", 227. Then we got Patterson and Wilcox. So our running backs are good. So, I mean, I think our offense is looking pretty good. And we had Cheru, the wide receiver Cheru. He went ahead and signed with the Rams. He was trying to go on that Pavier rule and get another year eligibility, but I guess it was up in the air, and he wasn't for sure if he's going to get that or not. So he went on and signed with the Rams, which probably was a good move if they was willing to sign him. And then that knocked down 3 injected. Remember, I had how many different teams all our players had been to on our offense. He'd been to 3 different teams, so that knocked 3 off that list. And our defense, so far out of what I've went through, we've only got like 5 transfers or that had been at other schools or whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead here and I'm gonna start with the defensive line. Now, I'm going to start with our freshmen. I got a lot of players here. I'm going to start with our freshmen and work our way to who I think is going to be the starter. Defensive lineman, Jackson Bunn, number 64, 6'2", 302 pounds. He's a junior. He's on the practice squad in 23 and 24. His hometown's Oxford, Alabama. Again, I'm starting with our bench players and our depth and try to work our way to who I think is going to be starting. Defensive lineman, number 98, Kentia Hargett, Hardgett, 6 foot, 300 pounds, sophomore, hometown, Lexington, Kentucky. He played in 2 games in 24, and I couldn't find what prospect he was on him or the last guy. I don't know why. Defensive line, number 94, Tavion Gadsden, 6'5", 307, sophomore, hometown, Savannah, Georgia. 23, he redshirted, played in 4 games, had 17 tackles. He made the Dean's List, SEC first-year academic honor roll. 24, he played in 2 games, and he had a knee injury. Shut him down. He was a 3-star. He was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. Here we're getting into, this would be our number 2 defensive tackle. Number 91, Jaden Williams, 6'4", 291 pounds. He's a junior, hometown, Inglewood, California. Transferred from Wyoming. 22, he redshirted. Played in 3 games, had 2 tackles. 23, played in 5 games, 2 tackles, 1 sack. 24, played in 12 games, 20 tackles, a half a sack, 3 quarterback hurries. His career, 20 games, 24 tackles, 2.5 for a loss, 1.5 sacks, 3 quarterback hurries. 3-star transfer, 3-star prospect. Now the only thing concerning me about him is he's from California. I ain't know any team on the West Coast that could play any defense whatsoever. So hopefully he's a diamond in the rough. This guy right here would be our number 1 tackle. Number 92, Quail Sanders, 6'5", 297. He's a senior. Hometown, Huntsville, Alabama. 21, he redshirted, played in 4 games, 2 tackles, and a quarterback hurry. 22, played in all 11 games, 13 tackles and a half a sack. 23, played 13 games, 18 tackles, 1.5 sack. 24, played in 11 games, 15 tackles, 2 quarterback hurries, and a sack. He was a 3-star prospect. Now we're moving on to our defensive ends. Except I ain't got them in the order I want them in, but well, defensive ends. Lorenzo Cowan, 6'3", 247, freshman. High school. Jenkins, Savannah, Georgia. 2024, USC. He had no action. He must transfer from USC. I think he's a USC transfer. He was a 3-star prospect and a 3-star transfer. He's supposed to be pretty athletic. I can say that much. This guy right here is our number 2 defensive end. Number 95, Jared Smith II. I don't know. He should call himself Junior. Anyways, 6'4", 275, sophomore. Somerset, Kentucky. Homegrowner. Played his high school ball in Corbin. 24, he played in all 12 games, had 7 tackles, 4-star prospect. Our number 1 defensive end, number 90, McQueese Humphrey Grace, 6'4", 265. He's a junior. He's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. Transferred from South Dakota State. 22 was South Dakota State. He had 3 games, 3 tackles. 23, still at South Dakota. Played in 13 games, 1 start, 34 tackles, 7.5 for a loss, 5.5 sacks, 6 pass knockdowns, 4 quarterback hurries, 1 forced fumble for a touchdown. I think he had him a scoop and score there. That was pretty good. 24, he started 14 games, had 59 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and another scoop and score. Named 24 Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Named 2nd All-American Coaches Association. First team Missouri Valley Football Conference, all conference. And then 2024, he was a finalist for the Buckman Award. He was a 4-star transfer and a 0-star prospect. I'm thinking he's our best defensive end. Now I'm going to move on to our nose guards, nose tackles. Austin Ramsey, 6'4", 311 pounds. He's a freshman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. '24. He'd moved from the O-line to the D-line. Played in 5 games. High school, he ranked as the 46th best offensive tackle in the country. The 17th best prospect in the state of Pennsylvania. That's according to ESPN. Rivals was a little bit different on that, but we got the gist of it. He was a 3-star prospect. Pretty nice little freshman there, I'd say. Well, 311 pounds. Another nose guard. Joshua Hayes. We've all heard of him. 6'3", 328 pounds. Senior. Hometown, Horn Lake, Mississippi. Played in 5 games, 2020. Had 2 tackles. 21, he played in all 13 games. 1 start, I think. 14 tackles. 1.5 for a loss. 1 sack. A fumble recovery. And 2022, played in all 11 games. Not all 11 games, but he played in 11 games. Had 1 start. 8 tackles, and a pass breakup. '23. Played in all 13 games. 24 tackles. 4.5 for a loss. 1.5 sack. 1 pass breakup. 1 quarterback hurry. 24. Missed the first 9 games due to a torn Achilles. He suffered in spring practice. Achilles tendon. Played in the final 3 games, had 9 tackles. In his career, he's played 45 games, 4 starts. He's a 3-star prospect. Here's probably our starting nose guard. Number 60, David Gusta, 6'3", 316 pounds. He's a senior. He transferred from Washington State. '21 at Washington State. He had no game, nothing. Didn't play. 22, he played 9 games, 1 start. 11 tackles, 1 for a loss. Batted down 1 pass. 23, started 11 games, had 30 tackles, 3 quarterback hurries, and a half a sack. 24, he started in 12 games. 21 tackles, 1 sack, knocked down 3 passes. So his career, 32 games, 24 starts, 62 tackles, 6 for a loss, 1.5 sack. He was a 4-star transfer and a 3-star prospect. Well, don't look like anybody's on here. I was going to ask what anybody might have thought about that so far before I move on to the inside linebackers. I was hoping old Brent make it by now, but maybe I should have waited a little longer before I started. All righty, we'll move on to our inside linebackers. Got number 44, Antoine Smith, 6'3", 205 pounds, sophomore. Hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. 24, he played 7 games, I think mostly on special teams. He had 1 tackle, 1 pass breakup, 1 quarterback hurry. 3-star prospect. Inside linebackers, guys. Number 32, Devin Smith, 6 foot, 221, redshirt freshman. Hometown, Brunswick, Georgia. Listed top 55 linebackers, 70th player, state of Georgia. 3-star prospect. Number 31, Quintavion Norman, 6'3", 210 pounds, another redshirt freshman. 24, he played in 2 games on special teams. 3-star prospect. Now we're getting somewhere. Number 17. Oh, hold on. Not number 17. Skipping one. Number 22, Grant Godfrey, 6'3", 225 pound sophomore. Hometown, Swanee, Georgia. Redshirted. 23, redshirted. SEC first year academic honor roll. Must be pretty smart. 24, played in 7 games, had 9 tackles. 4-star prospect. Pretty good. 4-star. Take that. Now, number 17, Devarian Reiner. 6'2", 217 pound senior. Hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana. Not too far from here. And I think he played at one of them Catholic schools I always hear about too down there. Transferred from Northern Illinois in 23, and not this year, but in 23 he transferred. So in 2020, he's playing at Northern Illinois. He played, I guess as the COVID year, I think. He played in all 6 games, had 26 tackles, 3 pass breakups. 21, Northern Illinois, he played in 8 games with 4 starts, 29 tackles. He had 29 tackles and 24 of them was solo. So he's getting it. So then he transfers to Kentucky. Here he is in 23 at Kentucky Wildcat uniform. He played in 13 games, started in 1, had 30 tackles. 24, he only played in 4 games. He had intentions of redshirting. So now that kind of throws a little red flag to me. Was he planning on transferring, or what was his intentions? Why was he going redshirt? But he had 13 tackles. He was a 3-star transfer when he transferred, and he was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. Now, this guy right here, he's probably might be our best inside linebacker. Number 3, Alex Afera Jr., 6'2", 222 pounds. Hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd one out of Cincinnati. 2022, he played in all 13 games. Started in 3, 21 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack. Named first SEC academic honor roll. 2023, he started 12 of 13 games, 49 tackles, 5.5 for a loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and he recovered that fumble. 24, he played in all 12 games, 6 starts, 62 tackles, That was third on the team. That's pretty good considering some of the defensive players we had last year. And he led the team with tackles for a loss with 11. So he's getting it. He's getting it. And he moved to inside linebacker after playing defensive back in his first 2 seasons. So his first 2 seasons, he was a defensive back. And he made the Dean's List in the spring of 24. He was a 4-star prospect. Well, guys, that's all of them I'm going through this week. And next week, we're going to go through outside linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties. That's next week. And then we'll have the defense covered. And like I said, it's not looking like, unless we're getting the outside linebacker, the cornerbacks and safeties through the portal. Out of all the guys I just went through, we just had 5. And I think one of them had transferred a couple years ago. So I don't know. I think we just build all offense. So I was hoping Brent would make it on here by now. But unfortunately, he must still be busy. They're dealing with those water issues and stuff down there. But I did take note. We had at least, I might have missed a couple. 1, 2, 3. We have five of those players out of the state of Georgia. I noticed we had 2, maybe 3 out of Alabama. So we're recruiting hard in Georgia and Alabama. And we had two or 3 from the West Coast. We might have had, I don't know if we had 2 from California and 1 from Washington State or something up there. But those kind of concern me because there ain't none of those teams out there ever play any defense, ever. But we must be hitting it hard in Georgia. We got a few from Cincinnati. We got some of our hometown people. Well, we are. Let's see, we got a comment here. How many Kentucky kids? Well, I'd have to go back and look through all them again, but I didn't write that down, but there was a few. There was at least probably 3, maybe 4 off the top of my head. So our 3-4 defense, here's out of what I just went over: nose tackle, defensive ends, and inside linebackers. I think this is going to be our starters. I think. Hey, you're welcome. If you got anything else you want to talk about, we got some time because I'm about ready to end it. I think our starting nose tackle is going to be number 60, David Gusta, 6'3", 316 pounds, senior. And one of our defensive ends, I don't know who's going to be on the right side and the left. Same with our linebackers. Number 90, McQueese Humphreys Grace, 6'4", 265 pounds, junior. The other defensive end, number 95, Jared Smith, 6'4", 275 pounds, sophomore. And one of our inside linebackers, number 3, Alex Afari Jr., 6'2", 222 pounds, senior. Our other inside linebacker, number 17, Devern Reiner, 6'2", 217 pounds, senior. Anybody got any thoughts on what we just went over? That's basically our base, other than our outside linebackers, cornerbacks, and safety. I'd kind of like to see us switch to, I don't know. I know sometimes our defense can get a little crafty and apply a little bit of pressure here and there, but I just think teams can run on us. And I like to see us get a little more beefed up defense. I don't know. I can't hardly. It's hard for me to put a grade on this. But so far I'm giving them a C on what I just went over because we lost a lot on that front. Anybody else have any thoughts? Well, I think that's about it. I mean, kind of a short show. I got on here and did what I could, but oh yeah, another thing. After next week, after I go over those couple positions groups, we're going to start our. Well, I'm going to start going over the top 5 in the country at each position, just like I did here. But it's going to be 5 players at each position all the way through. Then everybody can build a team, and we're going to have a little contest. We're going to take everybody's team and put them in a big simulator and see whose team comes out on top. And that's going to be the Wildcat Den 2025 Team of the Year. Oh, Brent might be coming. I was getting ready to end it, but I think he might be coming in here. I don't know if I don't think I got a request him. I think he just come in. Anyways, I guess while we waiting, if anybody on here watching has heard anything about that new LLC thing that they coming out with, when it starts or anything like that, I'm kind of surprised I ain't read up more about it. But I don't know when that's going to start. Is that going to start this year, next year? And for those of you wondering, I did find out what Eddie Grand's role is. He's he's Mark Stoops' special. Let me get the exact words. I think it's something like Mark Stoops' special assistant. I mean, is that made up or what? Where's he at? Oh, Eddie. Me and old Brent like playing a game during the Kentucky games when Eddie Grand, special assistant to the head coach. We like playing a game kind of like Where's Waldo. When Kentucky plays, we say, where's Eddie? And then we found out we had like some dude that kind of looked like Eddie, and we kept thinking it was Eddie. And we were really like, eh. Then we figured out it wasn't him the whole time. But well, I just don't know about this defense. I know it's going to be bend but don't break. But we're going to have to see. I'm thinking Brent's going to be in here in just a minute. I should have probably waited a little longer before I started the show, but and then I thought with both of us, we had plenty of material. Is anybody ready for football? Everybody ready? Summertime just started. Time to tune up the lawnmowers. Get all that going. Put the snow blowers away. I think I've mowed once. I think everybody down there in Kentucky, down in Harlan, I think they done mowed about 4 or 5 times. Kentucky Derby tomorrow. I don't even gamble on it anymore. My aunt, we'd be texting one another, and she knew all about them horses. She went to a lot of the derbies, and she liked going to a lot of them horse races and stuff. And I'll tell you, the one she would always tell me who to bet on. I tell her who I pick. Personally, I always just like this coal battle. I'm from coal country, so I'm gonna pick. I pick them by the names mostly, or maybe by the looks, or maybe if it's supposed to be raining, they say they're supposed to be a mud horse or whatever. But she knowed them. She knew them. Well, the one year, so I would take her advice, and I would like maybe kick one horse out and put one of mine in, like for a trifecta or something. And sometimes she'd win. She'd be like, laughing and going on about how we won, and she'd be like, "You didn't bet it like that, did you?" I'd be like, "No." Well, the one year I did, the one year she gave me some advice. I was working with this guy. Me and him, we gambled a little bit on some different things together, and we put like $50 a piece on this trifecta. Well, he betted it like 3 different ways because he understood it better than I did. But well, the horse we had coming in first, they disqualified him because this is probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago, somewhere in that range. I don't know what. I think the jockey did something that was too aggressive or something like that, and they disqualified him, or we would have hit. And that, but ever how he betted or whatever, we at least got our, we got our money. We got our money back, but we would have hit. I think it was a couple $1,000 or something we was gonna hit, but I guess it wasn't meant for us to get it or something because they disqualified that guy, and I couldn't believe it. But I do like watching them run in the mud. I know it's dangerous on the horses and all that. I get it. But some of them Kentucky Derbies, when them horses come, when they come from the back and they get that big spurt, I remember sometimes it's just unbelievable. But a lot of times, they just come out there and they go just like, like they kind of like the mock draft, kind of like how they predicted them to. But when you get that one that just comes out of nowhere, it's like he's shot out of a cannon. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's real awesome. Well, we're waiting on Brent here. He's fixing to come in here. I'm just trying to ramble on about things and keep it going. Well, I think our Kentucky football team, I have no faith in our coaches. None. I think our offense don't look bad, though. I think our offense, I don't remember. I give them a B- on my rating. But now our defense, I'm a little bit worried about our defense. But I don't know. I think Brad White's a decent defensive coordinator. I'm kind of surprised actually he stuck there this many years, but I guess they're paying him pretty good. That's the only thing. Because I thought he was going to leave last year, to be honest. But then that LLC, when it takes effect, I don't know how much they're going to put up with. I don't know how all that works. See if I can pull it up here a little bit. I don't know when it starts. Try and skim through it. This big cataract. Hey, I'm telling y'all, yeah, that really didn't say too much. I don't know if anybody's got any more information on this or what, but what's up, Brandon? Well, buddy, Brent's about ready to pop in here. We'll see what I think he's got some stuff. He's gonna come in. He said just a minute. He's almost done. We just went over the defensive line and the inside linebacker. I think I see him. He's popping in down there. I don't know if I got to add him or what I got to do. I don't know if I got to add him or what I got to do. There he is.
What's up?
Hey, stranger.
What's up, buddy?
Buddy, I'm glad you got there because I was running out of stuff to say. I was about to start talking about my cataract again. Hey, they put the office. Hey, that stuff was yellow, green, everything they's putting in my eyes. I said, Lord have mercy. I said,
well, I guess it's
like Frigno.
I guess it's a little better late than never, ain't it, bud?
Yeah, you popped in just in time. I probably should have waited a little while before I started. I guess.
No, because I didn't know if I was going to get free or not to even do the show tonight. I thought, well, I'll just finish the show out last 20 and 25 minutes here. And what's up, John? Hey, buddy, how you been?
Yeah, how you been? Yeah, well, you had some stuff you want to go over. Did you hear any of it?
Well, I did have some stuff, but I guess I didn't know if I was going to be able to do the show or not. I just thought, well, I'll let you handle it tonight. So, I know you went over the defense tonight.
Did you miss it?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, I went over the defense. Let me see if I can find my paper. Who I think is going to be our starters so far on our big. I think our starters on our big 3-4 defense at nose tackle. Did you hear that part?
Yeah. I think the linebackers is what I didn't hear.
The linebackers, I think we got number 3, Alex Safari Jr., 6'2", 222, and number 17, DeVern Reiner, 6'2", 217, senior.
Yeah, Reiner. Yeah.
Reiner. Yeah. See, that's why I need you to help me say some of this stuff.
Well,
you there?
Yeah. Did you well, Kentucky Derby's tomorrow, a Kentucky tradition.
Yeah, that's what I was telling me and my aunt from Cincinnati, Mary Helen. We'd always be texting and everything. I just told them about a big bet I lost because, I lost a few bets because I'd alter a horse or two. She would tell me to bet. Yeah. She knew them horses. She would win. And they run them in the rain, John. They going to run in the mud. They got mud horses. I love them in the mud. I like to watch them in the rain.
I went years ago, not to the Kentucky Derby, but I went up to Louisville to the to the races, and let me tell you, I really liked it. I really liked it. And they run on the grass, the mud, like you said. I really like it.
Well, she's passed away now, but my uncle is married to her. When he said right before they got married, I guess she won't go to the horse races. He said, I went. He said, I lost my last $50 and the bird shitted on me. He said, I swore I'd never go back. But of course he did. And she said he'd be in there. I guess at this time they brought in those TV monitors where they could bet on off-field tracks, because for a long time you could just only bet on them races that was happening there.
Right.
And she said he'd be throwing his tickets down. She'd be picking them up. And he'd be winning. He'd be watching the wrong TV. She was a hoot, buddy. She knew them horses too. What you want to talk about, Brent?
Well, I forgot now.
Oh, Lord.
I had a bunch of stuff, but I forgot.
Well, you'll have it next week.
Yeah, I haven't.
I think I congratulated Dr. Mark when we started, but I don't remember. But I think I did. Everything all right down there at the water? Getting the water back going? Well, we might have a situation here. I'm not hearing Brent. Brent's audio has went out. John, I'd say it had to rain pretty hard because I've seen them run some pretty hard rain. I got to give old Brent props too. He had me set up. As soon as I went in the StreamYard, all I had to do was hit go. That way he probably did that to make sure I didn't lock everything up again. I've locked this StreamYard up almost about twice, I think. But we're getting through it. We're getting through it. And guys, we've been doing pretty good lately, these last few weeks. I mean, we appreciate everybody. Can't wait till we get our contest going. That's going to be awesome. And appreciate everybody's support. Our YouTube channel finally got going. It's doing good. And guys, that's all I got. Brent lost his audio, so he went on ahead and got out of here. And I'm just going to go ahead and end it. You guys have a good weekend. Have a good week next week. And wow! Well, all right. I'm gonna try this again. My outro video, I don't know how to get it to play, so here we go. Wow! Well, here we go. I think I figured out how to get it going. Wow!
Audio Jungle.
knocked the camera off.